Time now for our daily look at the Cannes Film Festival. Let's cross to France 24's Florence Villeminot, who is before the red carpet. Flo, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Last night was the opening night, and this is the first full day. How's it going?
It's going great, François. You might be able to hear behind me. There's some music as people make their way down the red carpet. This is the red carpet event for a French film that's in the official selection of the Cannes Film Festival. It's a film by the French director François Ozon. It's called Tout s'est bien passé, Everything Went Fine. It's a story about a young woman who's played by Sophie Marceau, whose father asks her to help him end his life, essentially, after he suffers from a stroke. So you can expect a real tearjerker from this one. Sophie Marceau hasn't showed up yet. The film also stars André Dussolier and Charlotte Rampling. We're expecting them any minute now on the red carpet. People are getting excited here on the Croisette. Earlier today, there was another film in the official selection, which had its red carpet event. This is an Israeli film, a film by an Israeli director called Navad Lapid. His film is called Ahed's Knee, and that was the event that took place yesterday here on the, a little while ago here on the Croisette.
Yeah, and the first full day, rather, means the start of not just the official competition where you're vying for the Palme d'Or, for the Golden Palm, but all the sidebar competitions.
Absolutely, because when we think about the Cannes Film Festival, a lot of people only think about the official selection, which has 24 films in it this year, and as you said, is presided by Spike Lee, with their top prize being the Palme d'Or and several other prizes as well. But the Cannes Film Festival is about a lot more than just the official selection. There are several parallel selections as well. For instance, there's the Un Certain Regard, Semaine de la Critique, La Quinzaine des Réalisateurs, called the Director's Fortnight in English. You've got the France Association for the Diffusion of Independent Cinema, ACID. There's also the Queer Palm, which focuses on LGBTQ+ films. So all in all, there are more than 120 films that will be shown here at the Cannes Film Festival throughout the whole festival, on top of those 24 official films in the official ceremony.
You mentioned there the Semaine de la Critique, the Critics' Week, I guess the equivalent of the Golden Globes for Cannes. It's celebrating its 60th birthday.
It certainly is. It was created 60 years ago at the 14th Cannes Film Festival. So it was created by the French Union for Cinema Critics, and it tends to focus on young talents, so young directors with their first or second film coming out. And this year, the Semaine de la Critique, the first film is a film called Robuste by Constance Meyer, and it's about an aging, I guess you could say, washed-up actor played by Gérard Depardieu, and that is getting a lot of attention. That's going to be shown for the first time tonight. It also features a young actress, Deborah Lucumbuena, who's getting a lot of attention, a rising star as well. Gérard Depardieu, unfortunately, will not be coming to the Croisette. A lot of people were hoping he would, but he always decides at the last minute, and he decided not to come this year.
Decided not to come this year. A quick word on the director's fortnight, Flo, because oftentimes the director's fortnight is where you get those movies that are sleepers, that don't get in the official competition, but wind up being huge critical successes.
Absolutely. This is a competition that was created in 1969 by the French Society of Movie Directors. And what's interesting about this parallel selection is that it's known for being a little bit more open-minded and edgier than the official selection, and also a little bit less competitive. There's, I guess, a little bit of a better atmosphere amongst the competitors there. This year's Director Fortnight will kick off with a film by Emmanuel Carrère, who's a famous author here in France, who also makes movies. And so this is his film. It's called Between Two Worlds. It's starring Juliette Binoche. So she plays a famous author who goes to the north of France undercover as a cleaner to write a book about working conditions, about poor working conditions in France. And it's actually based on a book, on a best-selling book by a very famous French journalist called Florence Ozon. So this is her best-selling book. It's called Le Quai d'Ouistreham. So that is what this movie is based on. And what's interesting about this movie that's by Emmanuel Carrère is that he chose a big star, Juliette Binoche, but also a lot of non-professional actors to play in this film. So that's going to be opening later tonight.
All right, we'll be watching out for it. Flo, just before we go, you have a great vantage point there behind you. We can see people going up the red carpet. How's it going with the social distancing?
Well, so far so good. They're very strict rules due to COVID. If you want to attend the red carpet event behind me, you have to show a health pass proving that you have been vaccinated and that you got your second dose at least 2 weeks ago. That, or you have to show a negative PCR COVID test from at least 48 hours, I believe. So lots of social distancing, lots of masks as well. COVID certainly is very present on everyone's minds. This edition, of course, it was what canceled last year's Cannes Festival, so a lot of people are being very careful here at this year's edition. Crowds are back, the paparazzis as well, though. Many thanks, Florence Villeminot. Absolutely, lots of cameras. Florence Villeminot with that live update. We'll be crossing daily to you over at the Cannes Film Festival. Stay with